Hello, welcome to another developer diary. In this one, I'm going to give you an update with the backer rewards and show off some of the cool stuff that we'll be delivering out soon-ish. Probably we won't start mailing things out until January, but we're doing the best we can. We've had a number of setbacks, but first I'd like to show you the good stuff. So here is the proof for the art book. As you can see, it's hardcover. It's glossy. It looks really nice. It's about I think it's I forget. I think 9 by 7, or the pages are 9 by 7. The actual book may be larger. I don't have my tape measure. Here's, I don't know, it next to a standard magazine, so smaller than a magazine, but I think the book turned out really great. The pages are glossy and show a lot of detail. I think Joe did a really great job with the layout, and thanks to a backer who looked over the art book. The digital art book, we corrected a number of mistakes. There were some weird exporting issues and spelling mistakes and other things. So we're really happy with how this turned out, and we sent the order to the actual, for the actual art books that we're gonna mail out. So really happy about this. I don't know, but it feels really good to have it physically in my hands and say, like, we made this. It's really cool. It was a lot of work. I mean, I think I said at one point it was like, I forget, but I think I said close to 200 hours of work for the layouts and stuff. And so when you look at, like, what we budgeted for the Kickstarter rewards, we were trying to go around 10%. For the rewards, and I totally forgot to budget manpower into that. Like, I was just thinking, like, physical out of cost pockets would be 10%, and we're probably going to be about that with the physical rewards, regardless of how much time we spent on them, but also I was thinking that we would try and do like 10%, per reward tier, or try and shoot around that. So, like, for example, if the thing costs $35 or $350, we wanted all the items you get, which is a lot for $350, to be like $35, including shipping, which totally isn't happening, but because a lot of our sales are at the lower price points, that actually makes things somewhat easier on us. If everyone did the $100 tier, well, I mean, we'd have a lot of money to spend, especially I think shipping is going to be brutal, but it does provide some advantages in terms of making things cost effective. Like, for example, the poster. So this is the poster. I don't know if I'm far enough away to show it. It's I think 18 by 24, which is a pretty standard poster size. I looked, in the Double Fine Adventure poster is a similar size. They printed theirs on, like, more matte paper, but this is glossy paper. And the interesting thing about that is I think we need like 167 to mail out. And the problem is that buying like 200 of these posters is like $100 or less. But basically just getting another 800 and getting 1,000, like $70 or $100 more. So I ended up getting 1,000 of these posters. I have yet to figure out what I will do with them, but I'm sure I can come up with something. I'm sure, you know, people will like, well, I at least hope people will like this poster. I think it's pretty good. It's, they taped the poster on the box, and I had the box downstairs. And Joanne, my wife, said like, turn around the box, it's creepy, so she couldn't see the poster, and I'm like, yeah, we did it! High five! Creepy poster. So I think those turned out well, and we have some extras, and it's interesting because when you get 1,000 posters, I forget what it works out to be, but the actual posters are super cheap. I think it's like setting up the printing that's really expensive, so I don't know. I can't remember what we paid per poster, but I think it's it's less than $1 per poster. But then the interesting thing is that shipping is going to be really expensive for the posters, because usually you have to buy a hard cardboard tube and then use that for shipping. So it's like, oh, you know, give out posters or you know, sell posters, and then it's like, you know, you gotta worry about shipping them, which the whole shipping thing is going to be a nightmare, but I have a mail center that's going to take care of it. Finally, we're working on the t-shirt. This is the t-shirt design that we had printed up for like PAX and for the dev team, and a few for like press and whatnot. And I really like the design. Chris did this very early in development, and you know, the mansion doesn't look quite like this, and we don't have that drop off, except for, you know, in the asylum. But the problem is that, you know, to emulate our style, you have to do a lot of thin, tiny lines. And, well, it doesn't look so bad. Like, you know, here there's supposed to be a lot more lines, but it mostly appears white. But the problem is the character's face totally didn't show up at all. And so, that's tough. Well, I mean, it's a tough problem to solve with the processes that they make shirts with. And there's a few options, I think. There's some that, you know, do like full scale, full color, like painting or like print, or with like dots, or with iron-on sort of things, or whatever. And those, I don't think those shirts look as good as when you're doing a process with a limited number of colors. So we definitely wanted, you know, to have black and white. A black and white design, and the other thing is, like, at least for drawing it on a shirt, right? Like we did a few other concepts, and we'd have, like, you know, the girl but her head was cut off at the bottom, or, you know, two characters and there's this cutoff, and so. Something that works really well, but with this piece of artwork, is there's no, you know, cutoff. It's not like, you know, here's something framed. It's like, here's a whole pattern. And so, basically, even though we had a couple new designs, because, I mean, this, you know, is something that didn't print well when we first printed it up, and, you know, that company said that, you know, we were just SOL. That was the limitations of their printing process. So then I actually found another place, and they think that they can do this pattern with a more complicated printing process. They're doing like 3 colors, 2 whites and a black. I don't really know how that works, but that's what they're doing, and they're hopeful that that'll pan out, and we're doing some test prints, which, you know, cost like $200 to get like some test t-shirts done for all the setup costs and whatnot. But at least then I would know that for sure that the pattern will print. Whereas, you know, I don't want to spend a lot of money on shirts that don't look good. DVD case is designed. We have the things. We just have to print out the inserts. The discs are being pressed, and we put a bunch of extras, a bunch of really cool stuff on the disc. A lot of the digital rewards. So. And every early build I could find on the game, which is why I did that early build playthrough, because I found this super old build that I thought would be cool. So I think it's going to be pretty darn cool, and so I definitely want to thank all the backers for you know, backing at the higher tiers, and I hope they like their goodies when they come, which hopefully is soon. Thanks.